Live from downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma's own News on 6 starts now.
First here at 10 o'clock tomorrow will be another day of cleanup in Barnesdall and Bartlesville and south of Miami, where a tornado hit earlier tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Craig Day.
And I'm Lori Fulbright. PSO hopes to have power restored to everyone in Barnesdall by midnight tomorrow night. And the water plant there is working again, but folks will need to boil their water as a precaution. That boil order should be lifted within 24 hours as long as the pressure holds.
The state also submitted Osage County to the request for federal help from FEMA. Damage assessments are still happening in Bartlesville.
Search teams will also begin searching again in the morning for 81-year-old Wayne Hogue. He has been missing since that tornado destroyed his home in Barnesdall. Crews from Oklahoma Task Force 1 are using boats to search the Bird Creek, which was right behind his house. State troopers are using their specially trained dogs as well. The mayor in Barnesdall says the city is very appreciative of the outpouring of love and support.
Some of the unsung heroes from the tornado in Barnesdall are the 5 people who were working at the nursing home that night who got all 25 residents out without a scratch.
News on 6's Chloe Abbott tells us how they kept those residents safe. Chloe?
Craig and Lori, I spoke with 4 of them, and they say the scariest moment was when they were all taking cover in the hallways. The doors blew open, and they had to hold on to the residents to protect them. Every day at the Barnesdall nursing home, the forecast is posted on the walls, and Mondays is still there.
And as soon as the phones buzzed, we just 2 went down long hall, us 2 went down short hall, and then our nurse was going back and forth, and we just got people up out of bed.
Juanita Stronsberry, Kendra Moore, Jesse and Jenny Vermillion, and Colby Brandsetter says adrenaline kicked in and they jumped into action.
And making sure they have clothes and shoes, and and it's not just getting them out of bed and putting them in the hallway. You had to make sure, we had to make sure everybody had a blanket, because when you get cold, you guys have something to put over their head, and we're just thinking of every little thing.
During the tornado, they could hear damage being done outside.
We heard like the tree fall out front, but the windows break. We heard some of the windows break. The door flew open at one point, and we just kind of stood and held on to the people closest to the door.
The roof was gone, water started pouring from the ceiling.
So we had to move everybody up.
Juanita says she can't shake the images of that night.
How they were shook up and they were scared.
Yeah.
Their faces.
We'll be there with them the whole time. They're not going to be alone.
Then they heard another tornado could be headed their way.
There's no way we're going to make it through round 2. But come to find out, that was a little bit of rain and that was it. So we are so blessed.
Jesse says it's a miracle. No one was hurt and has high praise for how the workers responded.
Thankful I had the team I had, the people that were here. I can't think of what would have happened if they weren't here.
All residents have been moved to other nursing homes, and employees are saving what they can for them. Live in Barnesdall, Chloe Abbott, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
And of course, that tornado has disrupted mail service. The city says a lot of people can't get their packages, their medications delivered and things like that. So all that is now going to City Hall. People can pick them up there.
A lot of folks are really worried right now because the tornado caused damage at the largest employer in Barnesdall. The wax refinery has some damage to its buildings, so employees are out of work until repairs can be made. Employees of the businesses are doing what they can to help clean up the refinery and the rest of town.
Don't know that much right now. Hopefully we will build back.
Employees tell us they're not sure when they're going to be able to return to work.
And the Humane Society of Tulsa is there trying to track down people's missing pets. Volunteers are caring for the ones they find. They have a trailer that's serving as an emergency animal shelter. It's loaded down with food and other items they need to care for the animals.
Taking one thing off their plate for them. They have so much to worry about: the safety of their family, where they're going to stay, their belongings, losing their entire lives. So we don't want them to have to worry about feeding their pets right now or sheltering them.
And they will have a pallet of pet food arriving there tomorrow.
Oklahoma Baptist disaster relief teams are helping storm victims in Osage and Washington counties.
Chainsaw teams are helping people remove their downed trees and clear away all that debris. The volunteers, like our retired News on 6 meteorologist Dick Farrow, say they are glad they can lend a helping hand during difficult recoveries.
As volunteers, they don't have to pay for that, so that makes it easier for them in that sense. And then they can start the process of rebuilding the house or whatever else needs to be done.
The Southern Baptist Relief Teams also have a mobile kitchen in Bartlesville. They were in Morris last week helping those victims.
And we know things are tough for a lot of folks right now, so we want to help people displaced by the tornado find a place to stay. Here is a list of some of the temporary shelters, and we have a full list of resources at newson6.com.
Then to top it off, we had to have one more round of severe weather today. We had tornado touchdowns near Miami on the south side of town and near the Fairland area. And we kind of call this an elephant-type trunk tornado. It wasn't super strong, but it probably winds of 100, 100 and some, maybe 110 miles an hour at tops, but it was there. And then also this evening near Bocoshi down in southeastern Oklahoma, we had a funnel, but we also know that it did touch down, so we'll probably end up with a tornado touchdown there. Tonight, all of this has moved off to the east. Severe weather is off to the east. We're in the 60s. We still have 70 south, but much cooler, drier air has been filtering in. So what are we going to talk about? Storms. Go away. We've had enough of that for a while. We're going to say hello to Mayfest and also the Stillwell Strawberries and Strawberry Festival. And we do have a dry break ahead. We're going to give you the latest details coming up shortly.
Thank you, Travis. Some people in Miami are cleaning up damage tonight after a tornado hit several homes just a little bit south of town.
The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office says nobody has been injured. News on 6's Caitlin Degg tells us that one woman was at work when she learned her home had been damaged.
Dana Morissette and her family are shaken up after the storm, but at least they're safe. And they feel fortunate the damage wasn't even worse. Dana Morissette is a teacher and lives in this house just south of Miami. She was at school when her husband told her the bad news.
So I called him and he said, Dana, the house has been hit and the neighbor's house is destroyed. I was panicked, but I also had to keep all of the kids at school. So we were trying to get messages back and forth, but I was in extreme panic.
She says it's crazy how one storm can hit one spot in town and leave all of the other homes without a scratch.
Coming over the hill, there wasn't anything. Over the overpass, nothing. And then when you pull over that and you see, it was devastating. It was really devastating to see that.
This house has been in her family for 4 decades, and Dana says it hurts to see the house and the trees like this.
My mom and dad built this house, and we've planted every tree when I was a kid, and so the trees probably get me more than anything because they have memories attached to them. So the trees are kind of where my memories are.
She knows they're fortunate after seeing such devastating damage elsewhere this week.
Very fortunate. We live in Oklahoma. We know these things can happen, but as I've said, my parents have lived out here, or I've lived out here for 40 years, and we've never even come close to being hit.
Dana says after Barnsdall, she wanted to get a tornado shelter, but now after this, she definitely wants one. In Miami, Caitlin Deggs, Oklahoma's own, News on 6.
Funnel clouds were also spotted in Haskell County tonight. Several viewers sent us pictures and video from the town of McCurtain. Our meteorologists say that system did turn into a tornado with winds of about 70 miles an hour. The Haskell County Sheriff says there is some minor damage, but nobody was hurt. It has been, as you can tell, another busy night as those storms move through green country.
Travis is tracking your weekend forecast and the next chance for rain across our Osage Casino Skycam network.
And a Bartlesville woman tells us the tornado was so strong the wind sucked the plants right out of her pots. Why she says she is grateful, though. That's next.
Plus, we'll introduce you to a group who went to Barnsdall to host a cookout for those affected by the tornado. People in Bartlesville still have a lot of cleanup to do.
Neighbors tell News on 6's Aaron Conrad, despite what they're facing, they are grateful.
Some of my flowers were just sucked out of the pots and was in one place. Our storage building was right here. It's gone.
Nadine Owens shows us what's left of her backyard after Monday's tornado hit her neighborhood.
Our storage building, yeah, everything's gone. If it's not gone, it's broken.
Owens and her husband live just north of Tuxedo Boulevard, where cleanup has just begun house by house. A few blocks to the south, Russell Brewer is tallying up the cost for his repairs.
I'm just patching a roof until I can get a new roof.
Brewer was watching News on 6 as the tornado tracked through Barnsdall.
This is moving, unfortunately, targeting right now through Bartlesville.
And knew he had to take shelter.
They said it was going to hit about 10:03, and it really did. And man, you could hear it outside horribly, and the hail was hitting off of the roof and off of the door really hard. And it lasted maybe 5 minutes, and then we waited another 10 or 15 before we came out.
While Brewer and Owens have a long road ahead of cleaning up, both tell us it could have been so much worse.
Well, I'm not too happy about it, but I'm thankful that we're not hurt. Our pets aren't hurt. Our neighbors aren't hurt, you know, so I'm real thankful for that.
Well, we know people are looking for ways to help those in Bartlesville and across Green Country. We've got resources on our website, newson6.com. Erin Conrad, Oklahoma's own News on 6.
A Seminole County woman is battered and bruised after her vehicle dropped several feet through a washed-out road. Lindsay Pruitt says she waited out Monday storms at her mom's shelter. Once it was clear, she started driving home when her car suddenly dropped 10 feet in that gravel road. Lindsay says she climbed out of that crumpled car and used her phone's flashlight to get to the attention of first responders. She says she's lucky to be alive, but her car is totaled and it killed one of her dogs. Well, dozens of volunteers are in Barnsdall helping in any way they can.
DJ Gall and his friends packed up their grills and headed there to cook burgers and hot dogs for the folks there. DJ says he likes to live his life by just being a friend to everyone.
The town's hurting, and so the least we can do is come up here and cook lunch and serve drinks and Gatorade and waters to everybody.
The mayor says all the people wanting to help need to check into the command post at City Hall first so they can make sure those efforts are coordinated.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol says a 72-year-old man from Skiatook died in a crash on Highway 20 between Hominy and Skiatook today. Troopers say Harvey Jones was pulling a boat in his pickup when it collided with a semi. They say he was killed there along the highway. Troopers say the semi-truck driver was not hurt. They're still investigating what happened.
State Superintendent Ryan Walters and Attorney General Getner Drummond filed lawsuits challenging the new federal Title IX rules. Title IX banned sex discrimination against students and employees at public schools and colleges that receive federal funding. Well, the new rules ban discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. And Drummond says that will conflict with state laws that we have on transgender athletes in school bathrooms. Several other states have already filed challenges to the new policies. Those policies are supposed to take effect August 1st.
Ascension St. John is investigating what appears to be another computer hack of its network. The hospital says it's working with authorities to figure out if any information was accessed. It says people can still access some of their systems right now, but they're trying to make sure patient care is still safe and minimally impacted. Ascension St. John says it will contact people if their information was impacted.
From the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
Hopefully this is it. Anyway, we're about to the end. These were thunderstorms bubbling up, just looking south from Jinx, and they continue to bubble up across the southeast part of our area, 50,000-foot tops, and those didn't quit. And you saw lightning strikes as well as we went through the evening hours. So again, pretty impressive what was going on. A lot of energy. Speaking of which, we ended up with tornadoes. As we mentioned this before as well, Brandon took this shot of the tornado just to the southwest of Miami, and unfortunately, quite a bit of damage occurred with this one. Doesn't look really big, but it doesn't take it to look big to make some damage, and unfortunately that was the case with this particular one. So we ended up with quite a few storms that look pretty bad, and this one that we showed just a little bit ago in McCurtain County, Roger Jones took this and it went down to the ground, and we do have confirmation it did touch the ground. In fact, we'll have to talk to National Weather Service about that, but it ended up touching down and hit some folks, so that was pretty dangerous. That was when it was right near the McCurtain area to Bocoshi, and so that just traveled here, and you can see that hook area, and that's what continued to give us a funnel and a lot of pictures of what was happening. Tonight, our storms have continued to move off to the east. It started this morning, or noontime to 2 up in northeast Oklahoma. And I want to point out, we have had multiple tornadoes in northern Alabama. We had a tornado that went through Huntsville as well. And there's still active weather in northeast Texas. A lot of hail. Stigler, Heather sent this in. And also damage around Stigler from wind, and also a possible tornado near Afton. Some pretty big chunks of hail fell there, and near Proctor, near Tahlequah. Jody sent that in. So again, lots and lots of things going on. Oh, if that wasn't enough, the heat index today hit 97 at Eufaula and Okmulgee, 92 in Tulsa, 95 in Pryor. It was a sauna. If you were outside, you're like, what just happened? Anyway, one thing we know that's happened is we've had too much rain, And the only place that hasn't is still Skytook. It's going up, but it's still 6 feet below normal. And look at everybody else. Everybody's at least 3 feet above normal. Some areas even higher. As far as temperatures tonight have cooled off, we're generally 60s, still 70s south and east. Cooler air is trying to move south, so we're in the 50s tomorrow morning. Only thing that's happening tomorrow afternoon, it's probably overdone with any showers north, but there is a chance of showers. Some of that's going to be with the storm system in Texas, so we're going to be in the 70s. So a few showers for you on Thursday if you're south of I-40 or near I-40. Isolated sprinkle, maybe it could be near Tulsa, but the better chances are definitely south of I-40. On Friday, great weather. Mayfest kicks off. Of course, Stillwell Strawberry Festival going on. Saturday, great weather. And then Sunday, whoa, got to put the brakes on a little bit. Chance of showers develop during the late afternoon. 70s near 80. Best chance of rain will be Sunday night. So hopefully this is a little overdone. Most of our models saying it's going to hold off until late day. So most of Sunday will be okay. So for our Thursday and Friday and Saturday here in Tulsa, okay, if you're south of Tulsa, you do have that chance of showers tomorrow afternoon. Then our chances of rain start to kick in on Sunday late afternoon and Monday, kind of an off and on into next week. So you better enjoy the next few days. And if you're sneezing or sniffling, trees and grass pollen are still going wild. As far as the Stillwell Strawberry Festival, that took off tonight, got a little bit of rain. And then we have that going on tomorrow night as well, and Friday and Saturday. The parade's 10 o'clock Saturday morning. We hope to have some of our trackers in it and coming up. Mayfest Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Weather looks good with a chance of a few showers or storms on Sunday. And don't forget, it's Mother's Day this coming weekend. Should be a very good day. So that is our plan. We'll see if it works out. Here's the forecast and your plan as far as what we see. Temperatures are going to be great. Only problem would be some showers south of Tulsa for tomorrow afternoon, some clouds increasing. And then you can see fairly mild weather. There's nothing too impressive in terms of hot. And so it's just going to be pleasant with temperatures maybe only in the 70s with off and on showers next week. So if you want some sun, you better find it over the course of the next 3 days or so, because after that, we're kind of bogging down with more showers in the area.
We need to dry up.
My goodness.
Yes.
What a run.
Yeah.
Stacia said 2019. I said stop saying that.
Stop saying 2019.
Yeah. That was a bad year.
That just scared me a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's talk sports instead.
Yeah.
2019 wasn't the best year for the Thunder.
What is wrong with you people?
I knew he would bring that in here.
I don't know. What was that, 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Wow, right. 5 years ago, man. But this year, the role players responded in Game 1 for the Thunder, and why are these TU tennis players celebrating? The answer is next.
Driven by your Oklahoma Ford dealers, this is News on 6 Sports with John Holcomb.
The NBA's most valuable player is once again Denver's Nikola Jokic, the third time for him in 4 years. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Thunder was second in the voting. The bench difference is also on the Window World Sports Desk tonight. The Thunder did what they had to do last night, open the series with Dallas by protecting the home court. SGA did his part with 29 points. Jalen Williams did his with a fourth quarter flurry. But the OKC bench came through in a big way while things were still tight. Ready to go from the second they stepped on the floor, the other Jalen Williams and Aaron Wiggins, each making big contributions in the 117-95 victory. And after practice today, head coach Mark Daigneault talked about his trust in the guys who don't start.
These guys have proven it. Like, who do you not want to play? You know, like, they go out there, they play with confidence. Everybody's contributed to our team this season. Everybody's helped us win games. Everybody's performed in big moments. Everybody's stepped up at different times. Give everybody a chance. You know, Wiggins is a great example last night. Like, he was huge for us last night. I didn't go into the game knowing that that was going to be the case. You know, he didn't play till the second quarter.
The Thunder also beat the Mavs in the hustle categories like offensive rebounds and winning those 50-50 balls. Dallas actually puts a little more size on the floor than OKC, but last night it didn't matter, and they know that needs to change.
Rebound, we need to box out, to make sure that we're hitting them first. They got one big guy, but then a lot of, pesky, guards, and we need to make sure that we're able to, box them out, and they shouldn't be having that many offensive rebounds.
Definitely admiring, they do a great job of their X's and O's, listening to their coach, and feeding off one another out there on the floor. So it starts with SGA, goes down from there, man, and what they do best is just, like I said, feed off one another and bring that energy.
Big 12 softball awards, OU's Kenzie Hansen, the Defensive Player of the Year, OSU's Lexi Kilfoyle, the Pitcher of the Year. Other Sooners on the first team include Alyssa Brito, Tiare Jennings, Jada Coleman, and Kelly Maxwell. Kilfoyle is joined by teammates Carly Godwin and Caroline Wong. The Big 12 tournament opens tomorrow for both of those teams in OKC. The AAC tournament began today in Wichita. TU facing South Florida. Tied at 1 in the 5th, freshman Annika Anderson from Shawnee with the shot to the wall, an RBI double, and a celebration all her own. The Golden Hurricane advance 2-1. In women's golf, TU and OSU each finished top 5 in their respective regionals and will move on to the NCAA championships in Carlsbad, California next week. The Cowgirls second in East Lansing. The Hurricane tied for 4th at the Auburn Regional. The Sooners finished tied for 8th in Las Vegas. And if you love celebrations, then this is the video for you. The TU men's and women's teams each coming home with the NIT National Championship in Bradenton, Florida today. The top-seeded men beat Pacific 4-1, and the women get the upset of top-seeded Colorado 4-2. The TU women were seeded 3rd there, so they made the most of an opportunity, even though they would rather be in the NCAAs,
Sure.
maybe trying to get to Stillwater next week, but great for them.
Yes, and we
awesome.
love celebration
Yeah, we do.
videos.
We love
Yes.
it. Well, some baby cardinal birds just hatched in Chelsea.
We'll show you the new babies added to a family of birds that we first told you about last week.
A family of cardinal birds in Chelsea is a little bit bigger tonight. We showed you video from John and Angie Boyd's home a few weeks ago when the mama bird Tilly was taking care of the eggs.
Well, those eggs have now hatched. It happened on Saturday, and you can see Daddy Bird Joe is now, of course, doing what Daddy's doing, bringing food back to the nest.
And man, they are hungry.
Right? Look at them.
Beacon.
We needed something sweet and
We did.
kind
That was
and
nice to see.
Yes.
Very
after-
nice. Yeah, after another day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It just doesn't stop, but it will tomorrow. That's the good news. So tonight, everything is quiet. You can go to bed, not have to worry about sirens or people waking you up or having to turn on TV. Temperatures in the 50s. Cool start in the morning, 70s in the afternoon to near 80. There will be some showers if you're south of Tulsa along I-40, most likely late afternoon. Mayfest kicks off on Friday and Saturday and continues through Sunday. A chance of showers try to come back Sunday afternoon, but for the most part, even Mother's Day is looking good. Then next week, here comes more clouds and better chance of showers and off and on a few thunderstorms. So a few of those days, especially maybe Wednesday and Thursday, could be severe, but we're going to worry about that later.
Yes.
Meantime, we got to find us some sunshine. We need it pretty bad.
Looks nice. And then, of course, Friday, when Mayfest starts, we're going to have our booth down here at in our lawn at News on 6. We're going to have the prize wheel, so come by and say hi to us and spin the wheel, get a prize for free. So that'll be a lot of fun, too.
Absolutely. You know, over the last few days, we've seen a lot of resilience, a lot of strength, a lot of kindness from others, and we want to thank those who've stepped up to help tornado victims.
And we've tried to make it really easy for you to give, so you can scan this QR code with your phone. It'll take you right to the link where you can donate to help all those victims, because they're going to need a lot of services for a long time yet to come.
Thanks for joining us tonight.